people see them, they just go, I mean, so who are you? Who are you from? And they go, yo, I work with Zumbi and Mr. Cox, and they're like, oh, good, that's our resume. You guys become our report card, right? So when you are like, say 4 years from now, 5 years from now, you're walking out in the world and you're doing things, people say, well, who is this guy? Who made him? Who's in his line? They're like, oh, I'm a product of SJA.
That's right.
And then so SJA, people start getting the reputation that SJA makes things like you, helps people like you become what you are. And then other people are like, well, what are you? I'm a graduate of South Bay. I was in prison for 7 years, and this is what I do. This is what prison shaped me into. Prison helped me on my way to be the thug and the gangster. So everybody blesses. Everybody gets benefit from you exploding and becoming more grand and becoming more noble and wise. This school will get more. It's a new school. So you being out there, people are sort of like, this is why we made that experiment and this pilot program at SJA, and guys like him, like you, are coming out there can say, I was like this, I made a transformation. You know what? People didn't even believe me when I was telling them I was different. But then when I started putting my actions down, my deeds started telling people who I was. My actions, without even my words, were so loud that people started listening to what I had to say and they believed I changed. That's the move. Why are we saying all this to you, man? Is to give you the support. When people start making a change, there's a lot of stuff that they call it inertia in physics, like that will keep you still, keep you back and have you fall back to where you were. We're saying, no, these words we're planting in your head, we're going to say, yes, you are getting fed right now. You are getting encouragement. So you can build momentum behind your work to become that man that you want to be.
Yeah. And then, so the task is, now that you are on your way, now the task is along the way to find other people who are also on that path. Because, it's good to have people ahead of you that you can look towards and say like, oh, okay, I want to strive to be on that same path. But the beautiful thing is that when you can get a couple of people who you also know are on that path and y'all go together, because then you have each other's back, right? So then it's like, and it just keeps growing. So that's my challenge for you, to find 2 other people in this school that your friends who are like on that pathway. And so then y'all have an agreement that y'all gonna continue to do the work together. You know what I'm saying? Because it can get lonely when you're trying to change and you don't have anyone else in that circle who's gonna be like, I know, I'm on the same path, and you keep each other in line. So when one slip, like how you, Bernard, Daquan, how y'all got together, it's like that pack. You guys keep each other, going. So I just wanna say, I like the new improved Martin. I never knew the other one, but it's a blessing that this is like part 2 of who you are. So thank you. I appreciate it, hon. Thank you so much. Oh man, this is
if this is the man now, there must have been a real punk, huh?
You know what I'm saying? This dude is
just kidding. But when you were talking, the one thing that strikes me that you failed to say, and the thing that is definitely not true, is that the words that they just said aren't enough, but knowing that you can come back, and knowing that you've got family, knowing that Mr. Cox and what's your name?
Onifade, Miss Onifade.
Okay, well that she'll be here and care about you, because that's what I think we all mostly lack, is a family. Because even if we have parents, they're like, they don't know.
School's the second family of mine.
Yeah. Well, so this place feels like a family.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can come back, that's good. So what do you want to do
when I grow up?
Yeah.
I wanna do something that would change the world. Something that will make me known. Not to be famous, but to help a lot of people. Like either become a doctor to save people's lives, become a lawyer, take the people that they thought did bad, which really didn't do bad, take them out of jail. Become a veterinarian for the pets, because I like pets.
Where people will be a little bit older and people need to hear the same dialogue come out of the mouths of those guys in a barbershop. Because when people see this, right, the main thing that's going to happen is we're going to humanize the numbers that we track. How many people got shot and stabbed? It's like, you can say the numbers and they're on a piece of paper and we can do percentages and pie charts and all that. But when you hear the dialogue of that young sister about what it was like to lose her boyfriend,
you gotta have the quality.
What it was like to know that outside your house by the time you walk to the store or to school, you're very likely to encounter a predatory energy that's going to want to hurt you and harm you. These young ladies that we're talking about, the number of huge escalated brawls and fights and cuttings that arise from some girl not having her shoes matching her clothing. And that is then the invitation and the socially accepted, justified reason to ridicule and demean that person. They had this long dialogue about violence is in the homes as well, and so much violence is not physical at all.
Sure.
All of those, and they talked a lot about this belittling piece, and again, it humanizes what these people are going through, and then we can access that. You know, you can't put programs together with numbers except things that operate on people, like they're an object, as opposed to doing things with these people, because they are humans, they have something to contribute. They actually should be shaping the interventions. They have an understanding of what they're going through that is unique.
Yeah.
So no, I was gonna say we need to connect on how this is connected to the critical action research course that I'm teaching here around that, and how students, particularly Brittany, who did the piece around, see that is
She's crazy.
That is out of critical action research. They're going to be looking at global warming, right? So it's like, so what does global warming have to do with Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan? They're like everything. They're like 2050. We're not going to have a chance to even, and it's like, okay, so why not urban youth doing this and seeing the sense out of it? So out of that came that poem that now is connected to peace, universal, global.
You know, it's funny because
And so now when I told them, like, you know, the difference between qualitative and quantitative, they're like, huh, qualitative? Like our narratives, our stories? I'm like, yeah, that's power, because without the qualitative piece, people are not going to move. Like your allies who have the power and the control to give you some money, the people, you're not going to read it unless you have the stories.
what we're doing is we're like exposing the beauty of this community. I mean, you can clearly stigmatize these folks until you hear Daquan speak.
Exactly.
Then you're like, okay, and then you say, this guy's 14. He's not been
Exactly.
part of any kind of major program that taught him just to behave on the outside. This is coming from a genuine sort of a gift that he has inside, and he's applying it to this as opposed to the other things that people can apply those gifts to. So the capturing of this on video and sharing it is like a weapon almost. It's like a serious tool for sharing and then forcing people to see the phenomena they're talking about from a different perspective.